All right, folks. We're doing tonight lesson 194 of A Course in Miracles. I place the future in the hands of God. Oh, that's lovely. Oh, by the way, hi, Pat. All right. Would anybody like to read the first two paragraphs?
What page is that?
It's page 370. 370, the lessons.
I can read.
Okay, go ahead. First two paragraphs.
I place the future in the hands of God. Today's idea takes another step towards quick salvation, and a giant stride it is indeed. So great the distance is that it encompasses, it sets you down just short of heaven, with the goal in sight and obstacles behind. Your foot has reached the lawns that welcome you to heaven's gate, the quiet place of peace where you await with certainty the final step of God. How far are we progressing now from earth? How close are we approaching to our goal? How short the journey still to be pursued? Accept today's idea, and you have passed all anxiety, all pits of hell, all blackness of depression, thoughts of sin and devastation brought about by guilt. Accept today's idea, and you have released the world from all imprisonment by loosening the heavy chains that lock the door to freedom on it. You are saved, and your salvation thus becomes the gift you give the world because you have received.
All right. First of all, ladies, lesson 194. I place the future in God's hands for Luna and Israel.
Thank you.
Lesson 194, page 370. 370.
Mm.
Okay, in the first two paragraphs, says I place the future in the hands of God. And in sentence number 3, second part of sentence number 3, paragraph 1, it shows you that when you do that, when you place the future in God's hands, the result is going to be the quiet place of peace. Okay? So if you have peace, it's a symbol that you're placing the future in God's hands. If you lack peace, that's a symbol that you're not placing the future in God's hands. Equally so, paragraph 2, sentence 1. Accept today's idea, and you have passed all anxiety, all pits of hell, blackness of depression, thoughts of sin and devastation brought by guilt. Okay. Again, so if you have anxiety, if you have depression, if you're feeling devastated by X or Y, then those are symbols and signs that you have not placed the future in God's hands. So the opposite of anxiety is peace. So if you have peace, you place the future in God's hands. If you're joyful, which is opposite of, let's say, depression, that means you put the future in God's hands. And that's what you're here to do. And sentence number 3 of paragraph 2, your salvation thus becomes a gift you give the world. And so your realignment with the holy instant, which is the now, and placing the future in God's hands, you become a gift to this world. Because you come to a place of peace within you. You support this peace as true in the moment. You place the future in God's hands. And then you shine, you become a beacon of peace for others. Hello, Mary. It's we're doing lesson 194. I place the future in the hands of God, page 370. Lesson 194, 370. I'll put it in the chat too. Just in case. Any questions or comments?
This is so good, this lesson, particularly, when we have situations that come out of our control, I'm sorry. come out of our control, and then it's like uncertainty, and we don't know what's going to happen. And we go, if I decide this way, it's a little fearful. If I decide the other way, it's like it's this fear of failing, particularly in relationships. At work is fine. Work is okay. If we lose, we make it again. I open a new company. I invest in something else. But mostly about relationships, romantic relationships. It's like sometimes it's tormentos, it's difficult, and but there is so much other things of good things, that are there. But then you feel like I can't. Oh my God! It's place the future in the hands of God. The future, the decisions, I place it in the hands of God. I place, I would say, also my anxiety, my, situations of uncertainty in the hands of God. The letting go, I guess, it has to do with that as well, right?
Yeah.
Trusting.
Pardon me. Okay, so if you're feeling uncertainty, that's simply a sign that you have not placed the future in the hands of God. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the opposite is certainty. When you have certainty, when you have peace of mind, that means you've placed the future in God's hands. That means you're trusting God.
Oh, okay.
And in paragraph 2, sentence number 1, the second part of it says, and devastation brought about by guilt. Okay, why do you feel guilty? You feel guilty because you're judging. Yeah, you feel guilty. Yeah, I'm sorry, there's some
Yeah,
feedback here.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, so you feel guilty because you're okay. Imagine the present moment being a co-design with the divine, okay, with perfection. So if the present moment is a co-design with the divine, then it must be perfect for you. If you're supporting uncertain thoughts as real, then you're not trusting in God, okay? So if you're not trusting in God, then you're going to feel unconsciously guilty. That's what it says in sentence number 1 of paragraph 2. You're brought about by guilt. You feel guilty because you're not trusting God. So peace is a symbol, a lack of peace is a symbol that you're not trusting God. And that lack of trust in God makes you feel guilty unconsciously. Why do I feel guilty? It's because you're not trusting God, because you're not putting the present moment and the future in God's hands. And so I'm sorry, you're muted there. Yeah, you're muted.
Yeah, I was saying that I suffer of a lot of lack of trust of God. I can see because sometimes I feel anxious, uncertain. Yeah. Wow. It's a wake up.
Yeah, okay. So when that happens, okay, when you're feeling uncertain, this is what you do. You don't keep adding darkness to darkness. Okay, consider uncertainty darkness. Okay, because that's not the light. That's not a reflection of the truth in you. So that's darkness. But if you focus on uncertainty and you put more of your time, focus, and energy into it, you're adding darkness to darkness. And you're never going to find peace or joy there. So what you want to do is you want to do the opposite of what the ego is demanding. The ego is demanding uncertainty. Okay, what does this mean? The ego is making me feel uncertain. That's simply an invitation from the universe, from God, to practice trusting Him more. Okay? So uncertainty now becomes a trigger to you to trust God more. Okay, I feel uncertain. What do? I don't focus on uncertainty. I don't support it with my time, focus, and energy. I instead use this moment to trust God more. And when I trust God more, I have more and more peace. And the more and more peace that I have, the less uncertainty I have.
Well, how do we do this shift from being in the uncertainty and in as you said, in the dark spot, and then okay, let me trust. It's not something like we do that literally, right? It's a what? It is
Okay.
hot. Let it go. This the baggage I have here is so heavy. Let me just put it down on the floor. Some act, has to go in our minds together with the trust. I guess is releasing
So
the energy, is breathing in. Has to be
Yeah, you okay.
ritual.
Yeah, you can say it's an exercise. Okay, it's an exercise to practice trusting God more. So you're feeling uncertain. Okay, now I know that I want peace, right? So you want peace. So now use uncertainty to triggering you the desire to move in the direction of peace. And you move in the direction of peace by just in each and every moment what brings you peace. Think thoughts that support your peace of mind. Don't stop thinking thoughts that support uncertainty. And practice placing those uncertain thoughts in God's hands.
So it's the same exercise that we do when we want peace, we want joy, and we say, okay, I have to stop thinking on anything that, is taking me out of my peace. I'm thinking negative, I'm thinking on I'm doing some judgment about it. Okay, let me stop doing that. So I feel like more relaxed, more like inviting positive thoughts, inviting something that I can see that I'm grateful about. And then the feeling is it's light, it's not as heavy as it was when I was thinking negative. So I can feel that that's more moving out of the dark to the light. So trusting means that could be also a sign of trust when I'm doing that and go thinking more into thoughts of peace, more on my gratitude, what's the lesson behind, what I can be grateful about this, because every situation is giving us something. Every situation is giving us something to think about. Either it's my teacher or I'm teaching something, but something good comes out of particularly any situation. Sometimes we are not grateful about it, but believe me, it's such a good thing to have someone that triggers you, and but that's you, of course, right? Mm.
Yeah, and Pat, did you want to say something, or should I just read what you put down in the text?
I can say something and people can read what I wrote in the chat. And it's basically I love this chapter, and I'm very much aware of trusting in a higher power, and not, I don't believe I can control things, and and it's important to be peaceful. There's happiness in peace, but there are obviously I don't see my screen because I'm on my phone. Who was speaking before me? What's her name?
Isabel.
Isabel. Yeah, Isabel. Sorry. As Isabel was saying, there we encounter so many situations, and then I only noticed after the fact. I'm like, oh, I became agitated. I lost my peace. And I'm like, oh, and then at that point, I'm also thinking, obviously, I know I wasn't choosing with God. I wasn't on God's side. And I also feel a little bit guilty, like, oh, was I mean to someone? Is what I said mean? Because if I was a little bit angry, that means I wasn't very nice. And then I have to readjust, just like Isabel said. You have to readjust and just think, okay, you have to be a loving person, be with love. And I readjust and try not to be guilty. It's a practice that keeps going on, and you get a little bit tiring. It doesn't. I would like to know if it gets tiring to anybody, especially if they have like a high stress job, so I know all the theory, and I do it. I put it in practice, but I keep forgetting it. I keep finding myself not at peace. I mean, not all the time, but some.
Yeah, and the course says that forgetting is just a way to practice remembering better. And so, yeah, and so what you want to do is there's going to be an amount of time that you spend in a lack of trust, in that anxiety. Okay, the more times you practice going from the delusion to the truth, the more times you do this, the less time you will spend in that anxiety and in that pain. So all this practice that we get tired of practicing, going from darkness to light, from darkness to light. Oh, I gotta get my mind back into light again. Oh, Jesus, But all those practices just shorten the amount of time you spend in the darkness, and then little by little, your reactions are start to become more peaceful instead of judgmental of self or others. And so it's just a little work that we have to do, some work. And so that work, your future self is going to be really appreciative of all the work you put in, because you're going to be a wiser, more compassionate, and peaceful person more and more of the time, instead of spending time in the anxiety and the worry of the ego's mindset and world. And so, yeah, it takes a little.
But James,
yeah, go ahead.
Isn't there? I mean, life is uncertain. Whether we make choices about money or relationships, it could possibly go against us. So, I mean, if you're feeling uncertain, because things do go wrong. So how do we counter the fact that things could go wrong with that feeling of uncertainty when, they could go wrong? We don't know what's going to happen.
Let me try to remember this quote. If it's not good, it's something like, if it's not good, then God's not done. Okay? So to the ego is going to define certain situations as uncertain or bad or whatever, right? But in the end of that journey, there's always something good that comes out of it, because God is in control. And so what you have to do is just practice trusting God more. Even through the bumpy road, it's going to come a place where the light appears. And you're going to see how this bumpy road helped you come to a place of peace. And so when you see this bumpiness as helping you come to a place of peace, then you're going to have gratitude for the bumpiness, for the uncertainty. Because this is what brought you to here. But this, the ego is going to condemn you for. The ego's going to, oh, no, you're not spiritual enough. You're not good enough. You're not whatever enough. But then, oh, look, something good came out of it. Or I learned something. Or I became wiser or more compassionate or more loving. But it was only because I went through this. So if this helped me become this, was this really bad in the first place? Yeah, no. The ego will condemn your journey, because the ego's fuel source is judgment. So the ego wants you attached to it, because if you're attached to it, you're not attached to God. And so the ego wants you to buy into its delusion that something can be bad for you. Everything in the end you're going to use for good. Yes, in our minds, the way our minds have been trained. Yes, some things might appear not very pretty in the moment, but if we make a conscious decision to trust God over everything, over all of the ego stories, we're going to have peace in the whole journey. If we always have trust in God, no matter what the ego shows us or how the ego defines the situation, above everything else, trust God. Trust God and you will have peace. Trust the ego and you will feel that bumpiness all the time. So yeah, it's a matter of trust and placing the future in God's hands. Say, God, yeah. I don't know what this is for. I don't know why this is happening in this way. It's not very I don't feel very good about it, but I'm going to trust you. And when you say I'm going to trust God, even in the storm, you'll become that shelter within the storm. Everybody will come to you because you're the shelter in the storm.
And also, if I might say, when when you trust God and you're at peace and you still face uncertainty, there is a practice that you can do, which I think it's really nice or fun, which is listening to when you don't know how to choose, like pay a little bit more attention, because you find out like synchronicities, or you find people saying the same things to you. You hear the same messages sometimes. So they guide you. So there are people out there that will guide you and you cannot hear it when you're agitated. But if you're calm, like say this weekend, I went to a lunch, and then there were one person talking about being grateful, and she was a Christian. And then there was a Jewish guy next to me. He was also talking about he prays, and then that he's very grateful. And I didn't even invite the topic of being grateful. And so I was thinking like, maybe that's a message to me to be more grateful. But if you are, as I say, even in uncertainty, if you can keep your peace, if you don't know how to choose, one of the ways to choose is like when you keep your peace, you're it's gonna come. The opportunities are gonna come to act, and you're gonna know how to act, I think.
Yes, and there's a very important part is the listening part, because the universe always sends you signs. Okay, so if you learn how to listen to the universe, you're gonna start to hear those signs, which Pat heard. You're gonna hear, oh, well, this person just started talking about this or that, and that is exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you, universe. But you have to pay attention to the universe. You have to learn to listen. I have a video on listening this Friday at 5:00. It's going to come out. It's video on listening, so you might want to check that one out. I didn't talk about listening to the universe, but I did kind of like mention that. So yes, let's go on to paragraph 3 and 4. Who would like to read it?
3 and 4, I can do.
Okay.
3. In no one instant is depression felt, or pain experienced or loss received. In no one instant sorrow can be set upon a throne and worshipped faithfully. In no one instant can one even die. And so each instant given unto God is passing, with the next one given him already. It's a time for your release from sadness, pain, and even death itself. God holds your future as he holds your past and present. They are one to him, and so they should be one to you. Yet in this world, the temporal progression still seems real, and so you are not asked to understand the lack of sequence really found in time. You are but asked to let the future go and place it in God's hands, and you will see by your experience that you have laid the past and present in his hands as well, because the past will punish you no more, and future dread will now be meaningless.
Okay.
It's a beautiful lesson.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't make a space, it's like we're so busy with the past that we're not making a space for the new, and the new is in the present, and the new is in tomorrow. Such a great lesson.
Yeah, and the ego is always about complicating things, okay? The truth is always about simplifying things, okay?
Wow.
Let me try to simplify what we just read. There's the past, there's the present moment, and there's the future, okay? The past is forever gone. It exists no more. It cannot hurt you, okay? So that's gone. The past is gone. The future is forever imagined. You can only ever imagine the future. And so the only thing that exists in reality is the present moment, which the Course calls the holy instant. And so that's all we have to worry about, the holy instant. And within the holy instant is where the peace of mind and joy of God reside. And so if you're in the holy instant, you will always have peace and joy. If you imagine this is a present moment. If you're dragging the past onto the now, this blocks your awareness to your peace of mind and joy. And if you drag the future into the now, that's where your anxiousnesses and fears come in, and you don't see the peace of mind and joy. So our only job is to put the future in God's hands, okay? Place the past in God's hands, and experience the moment as God created us to enjoy and to share with each other. It's called the present moment for a reason. It's a gift from God to you. And when you realize that, you become a gift to this world. And so that's paragraph 3 and 4. Only focus on the now. That's all you have to do. Place the future in God's hands. Place the past in God's hands. It's gone. This is imagined. This is the now. This is where we create our life, in the now, always in the now. And it's only an instant. It's a moment. It's a holy instant if we align it with the source. Any questions or comments on paragraph 3 and 4? Or any questions or comments on what I just said?
So basically, we have to practice just being in the moment,
Yes.
appreciating the moment, being grateful for the moment, and because that's all we have. And it's also something that I've developed a practice over the last few weeks, is that I've come up with this mindset of the finality of life. Like any moment could be the last moment. We don't know. So it's like life is so beautiful and so precious, and it can go away in an instant, and it like you said so many times, it's so short. So that's helped me practice or appreciate the moment of like I used to be one of those people that says I never feel I never feel grateful. I feel so grateful these days. I have like a sip of port and I feel like, wow, this is like the best thing I ever had. That it's like I feel the finality of life. It's very limited. It's over so quickly. And on the last day, all these things that I'm worried about, like my mom's account or Claudia, they don't matter. They won't really, they'll just fade away. So it's like I'm beginning to just appreciate like it's so limited. The time is so limited. It's kind of like Disney. When you're in Disney, for the Peter Pan ride, you have to wait 45 minutes because you couldn't get the fast pass. Are you that upset waiting for 45 minutes? No. You're still in Disney, and at 10 o'clock, no matter what, it's going to be over. It's very limited. At 10, it's over. It's gone. So yes, 45 minutes went waiting for the Peter Pan ride, but the ride was amazing. But it's like the beauty of it is just so short. The life is like Disney, that Magic Kingdom. And so maybe, I was able to sneak in, and we were finally able to get a spot in the Seven Dwarfs roller coaster. And so when I went for the Seven Dwarfs roller coaster, we had a choice. I went with my son and my nephew. It was like, if we go for the Seven Dwarfs roller coaster, we're gonna miss the fireworks. They start at 9, all right, and or 9:20 or something like that. But I was like, wait, does God really want me to? I was like overthinking. Does God really want me to miss the fireworks? And this that I was like, I guess so. But what happened is we went for the Seven Dwarfs, and as soon as the ride started, the fireworks started. So we had the best view of the fireworks because we were seeing it while the roller coaster was going on. I was like, holy shit, there was a plan. I really didn't know the plan.
Yeah.
Like he wanted me to miss the fireworks so he could let me see it while the roller coaster. That's like the best feeling ever.
Yeah. Were you gonna say something, Mike?
I said I like your analogy.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And again, we simplify. Okay, with the past, when the past comes in, just forgive it and release it. Okay, so we forgive the past, we place the future in God's hands, and we enjoy the now. And that's what we do each and every time. The past thoughts come in, forgive them, let them go, release them. The future comes in through fear or anxiety or doubt. Place it in God's hands and say, God, I trust you with this. And enjoy the now. Be in the now. Be the loving light of the world that God created you to be in the now. And ask the now, what expression of love can I be right now? What expression of love can I offer you and those who I'm with right now? And that's your mission in life. That's all of our purposes and mission in life, is to be the loving expression in the now. Any comments or questions?
Yeah. Now, my question is, what about the now, right? The now. Little shaky, little anxious, worry. This is my now. So you say be joyful, enjoy the now. Wait. But my now is not that 100% shiny like we want to. You know, it's just past a situation that was uncomfortable. You know, my girlfriend blamed me. I was lying. I was cheating. I was this, that. I was like, we can. Wait, that's not true. No. It was blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, oh my goodness. So it left me a little, you know,
Okay.
my emotions.
Your girlfriend blamed you. Okay.
Mhm.
X or Y reason. Guess what? That's in the past. Forgive it. Let it go.
Yeah, an hour ago.
A second
Yes,
ago.
it's
A second ago.
exactly. It's already
If it
past.
was a minute ago or a second ago, it's in the past. Let it go. Forgive it. Let it go. Come back to center. Come back to peace. And know that everything is working on your behalf.
Yeah.
Everything is working for
Mm.
you. And then thank you, God. I know this moment is working for me. I appreciate this moment. And when I appreciate this moment, I have peace. And so the thing what that happens with your girlfriend, that's in the past. And so forgive it. Forgive your girlfriend. Forgive yourself for your reactions to your girlfriend. Forgive it all and let it go. And experience the now as it was created for God, by God, for you. A space of just joy and peace in each and every now. That's what God created for you. Now you can accept his gift or you can reject his gift. If you accept his gift, you have peace of mind and joy. If you reject his gift, then you have anxiousness and fear and judgment and self-judgment and all that stuff. So just practice coming back to the now. And very simple. Forgive the past. Place the future in God's hands. Experience the now over and over again until the now is all you want to experience. Any other comments or questions before we go ahead?
Beautiful.
All righty. 5 and 6, somebody would like to read 5 and 6?
Yeah, I'll go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Release the future, for the past is gone, and what is present, freed from its bequest of grief and misery, of pain and loss, becomes the instant in which time escapes the bondage of illusions, where it runs its pitiless, inevitable course. Then each instant which was slave to time, transformed into a holy instant, when the light was kept hidden in God's sun, is freed to bless the world. Now is it free, and all his glory shines upon the world made free with him, to share his hope. If you can see the lesson for today as the deliverance it really is, you will not hesitate to give it as much consistent effort as you can, to make it be a part of you. As it becomes a thought that rules your mind, a habit in your problem-solving repertoire, a way of quick reaction to temptation, you extend your learning to the world. And as you learn to see salvation in all things, so will the world perceive that it is so.
That's beautiful. Yeah. So sentence number, I think it's 2. I have a lot of writing on paper. So it's 2 or 3 of paragraph 5. Then is each instant which was slave to time transformed into a holy instant, when the light that was kept hidden in God's Son is freed and to bless the world. Okay. And so the idea is to bring time just to the holy instant. Just focus on the now. Keep practice focusing on the now. And then again, in sentence number 2, the second part of sentence number 2, paragraph 6, a habit in your problem-solving repertoire. That means coming back to the now. Make it a habit in your problem-solving repertoire. So anytime the past or future comes to you, attacking you, your peace of mind, make it a habit to come back to the moment. Give the past, face the future, and experience the moment. And then sentence number 3 of paragraph 6, you learn to see salvation in all things. So when you align with the present moment, with the now, with a gift from God to you, you see the gift in every situation and every person in the now. Every person becomes a gift from God to you. Every situation becomes a gift from God to you. And your response to the moment, because you know that everything's a gift from God to you, becomes gratitude. And so gratitude becomes your constant companion when you align with the holy instant and place the future in God's hands.
I've got to go. I facilitate another Course in Miracle groups at 7:45. So thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye. Bye.
Hi, Mike.
Take care. All right, folks.
We are giving gifts all the time.
Yeah.
We are tempted with gifts in that way, to what to do. It's an ongoing basis, yes, of to forgive, to put our passion, to compassion, show mercy. Particularly that we work with people. I work with people in the healthcare system and physical illness or mental illness, and it's a continuous, sometimes complaints from the clients, sometimes from the family, or requests, and they want things for now, and they don't want to wait, and then is insurance, situations that are cutting the benefits of people, not giving authorizations, and calling, find out what happened. I say, go read, or wait, or, we don't have answers. It's relationship is one thing, but it's every relationship that we have with work, with a phone, with a call. And we've been tested, and I think it's a good thing to be strong, to nurture ourselves with lessons like tonight. And thank you, James, for this opportunity, because we live a little bit better than when we came to this instant, to this hour. I guess at least I feel nurturing myself in my soul, in my mind, and aligning more to trust God. Because sometimes I'm sorry, I feel like I don't trust enough, or sometimes I forget, whatever it is. But it's a good reminder, that we need to be more in a gratitude and in the present moment.
Yeah, and remind yourself that gratitude, if your response is gratitude, you're in the present moment.
Mm.
If your response is not gratitude, then you're somewhere else.
Mm.
And so practice that gratitude, knowing that God is using everything for your good. And when you start to realize that and feel that God will use all your experiences for your good, then gratitude becomes your constant companion. So,
wow, this situation is for my good. It's hard to see it that way.
well,
Has to rise above the problem, because sometimes we try to fix the situations in the level of the problem,
exactly.
in the level of the energy, which is tense, and then you go back to tense same way, because we mirror sometimes situations. But when raising above, then is how you think, okay, I have to use this situation for my good. Something good's coming out of this. We are raising that, and that's where we want to be. That's what we want to be, in the above the level of the problem.
Yeah, and the Course in Miracles calls that above the battleground.
Above the battle.
Above the battleground.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. So yes, it does take practice, but it's something that you're worthy of, and so you should practice, because you're worthy of peace. You're worthy of joy, and the ego's trying to keep you from peace and joy, because it wants you to support it, not your true self, which is aligned with the mind of God. And so just remind yourself when you're lacking peace, remind yourself, okay, wait a second. I am worthy of peace. When you're lacking joy, say, wait a second. I am worthy of joy. Because peace and joy are God's inheritance. And you are God's child in creation. And so you're worthy of God's inheritance. You're forever worthy of peace and joy. And don't let your ego ever tell you otherwise. When your ego tries to tell you otherwise, say, no, that's not true. You can tell the ego that. Say, no, that's not true. Right now, I'm worthy of peace and I'm worthy of joy. And those are the thoughts that I'm going to choose right now to support my peace and mind and joy.
Amen. Thank
Okay.
you, God.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to add some movement there. We need to add some music because by itself sometimes we.
Yeah, I'm trying to pay.
Programa.
I'm trying to pay for a church choir to be in my background. Amen.
Yeah, good
Okay,
idea.
let me make a couple of the comments from the chat. Okay, first Pat said, Anthony DeMello suggested a good meditation or visualization is to imagine yourself in a coffin dead. What is the meaning of all your worries then? Were the worries worth it? Obviously not. Why worry? Why? It's in God's hands. You do the best you can in each and every moment. Yes. We're physical bodies right now. We're spiritual beings using the physical body. So yes, we do the best we can in every single moment. But we leave the rest to God. And we know that God is perfect love. And so what else other than great, beautiful things can happen to us if God is in control? Everything is going to work for our good. And Mary, hi Mary, said, and by taking a few deep breaths, your body will come and stop shaking too. Yeah, so.
Yeah, the breath is very important.
Yeah, breathe. Yeah,
Breathe.
the practice of the breath is key. Because what happens is when you get angry or upset or whatever, you start to breathe like really shallow and really high, shallow and high. Like this. Okay, no, you want to go deeper, down to the stomach, to the bottom of the stomach, and breathe. Breathe in light, breathe in love, breathe in God's compassion, and breathe out your worries and your anxiousness and your fears. Just close your eyes. You breathe in love. You breathe in light. You breathe in your gratitude for God. And then you breathe out all your stresses and worries and doubts and fears. And the breath can bring you back to the present moment. And so practice using the breath to return to the now. Your true home here on earth is the now. So thank you, Mary, for that. And thank you, Pat. Any other comments or questions before we continue?
So if your best half, your orange love of your life tells you, I hate you, I really regret the time I met you, and blah, blah, blah. That you have to forgive that? Yes, we have to forgive that, right? Forgive ourselves because we judge that and stuff. What about later she tells you, oh, I love you, I miss you. What do you do? And then later on, oh, I hate you, you the worst that ever happened to me.
Well, I mean, that's...
It's the bipolar part. What do you do with that?
Yeah.
I'm in the same situation. I'm in the same situation.
He said he was in the same situation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you have to start creating self-loving boundaries for yourself. And so, yeah, if they do that 100 times, they keep doing that, and if they don't learn, maybe it's time to love yourself and move on. But because it's not about being at peace and being forgiving. It's not about being a doormat. Okay, it's about knowing that you're worthy of peace and you're worthy of compassion. And so, yeah, if they want to grow and come back to a place of love, then yeah, they're welcome. But if they keep attacking over and over and over again, I mean, you have to remember, you have to love yourself first. Because if you love yourself first, you create a solid foundation. And then from the solid foundation, you can grow and bless and heal everybody around you. But if you don't take care of yourself first, then you become a little tiny little branch. Anytime the wind blows, you get hurt and feel sad or whatever. So yeah, there's a balance between forgiveness and establishing self-loving boundaries.
That is very well said, James. Totally agree, and I like that you mentioned it about we're not a doormat, and and it's important to set boundaries if there are people that are not nice to us. But also, I remember, and I think I heard it this morning, one of those videos. When people are attacking us, it's also what is it? A cry for love or something like that.
A call for love.
A call for love, right? They're calling out for love. So these people are obviously unhappy, and they just don't know how to express it. And the point is that if we don't know how to handle that, it's better to protect ourselves. And we shouldn't feel bad if we don't have the ability to know how to love these people or guide them, right? I mean, they are in a bad situation, and whatever is happening, we need to first protect ourselves. But we should not be mad at them. We should understand that it is a call out for love. That is their way of telling us, you know what? I'm really unhappy. I want to be loved, but I'm just angry. So it also helps us to understand that these people that treat us badly are themselves in a lot of pain. And this is the only way they know how to act. It's very, very useful for us to understand and have compassion. That doesn't mean that we know how to handle them or that we shouldn't, as James said, set boundaries. But it's important to keep that in mind, not to judge them too harshly.
Yeah, because the Course in Miracles says everything is love or a call for love. And so whenever they're being less than loving to you, it's a call for love. And you respond to a call for love with love. But again, we talk about self-loving boundaries. You can only respond so many times before you say,
Now,
I must move on. Yeah, go ahead.
And the response with love sometimes for them could be triggering.
Yeah.
Like when you tell someone that's anxious, relax, breathe, take it easy, let it go, forgive. They trigger instead of like saying, yeah, you're right, actually. No, they get triggered like, you telling me to relax? You think I am? Who do you think I am? Do you think I am not smart? Do you think I don't know that when I'm tense, I have to relax, I have to breathe? What's going on? I think you're dumb, It's like sometimes you want to say someone, like we talking here because we want to learn, improve and stuff. And I think we are average or good above the normal in intelligence. But sometimes we find with folks that they may be, not taking it as a good thing. When you say relax, let go, hey, give it to the Holy Spirit. What is the Holy Spirit? Take your course in showering you. You go, wait. Yes, let me give because I can't. Today I said, let me give all of this because I can manage this. Higher power could help me in this moment. I don't want to say anything wrong. The good thing, I didn't say anything offensive. As at least in everything that I texted or that I said, spoken on the phone, I was like, oh, thank you, God. I haven't said anything attacking back, responding badly because I want my side of the street clean. I don't want to be calling back and say, hey, I'm so sorry because I told you this. Oh, I don't want to do that. I already did enough, because they're waiting they're trying to push the buttons. That way you're being the same back and forth with them.
Yeah.
I avoided that at all costs.
Yeah, because some people have been programmed to believe that drama is love. Okay, so if you're not dramatic with them, then you're not loving them. You know, so that's just our programming.
Yeah.
And we have to just forgive that and find peace within ourselves and choose peace. So yes, it's a process. Would somebody like to read 7 and 8?
I'll read.
All right, thank you, Luna.
What worry can beset the one who gives his future to the loving hands of God? What can he suffer? What can cause him pain or bring experience of loss to him? What can he fear? And what can he regard except with love? For he who has escaped all fear of future pain has found his way to present peace and certainty of care the world can never threaten. He is sure that his perception may be faulty, but will never lack correction. He is free to choose again when he has been deceived, to change his mind when he has made mistakes. Place then your future in the hands of God. But thus you call the memory of him to come again, replacing all your thoughts of sin and evil with the truth of love. You, the world, could fail to gain thereby, and every living creature not respond with healing perception. Who entrusts himself to God has also placed the world within the hands to which he has himself appealed for comfort and security. He lays aside the sick illusions of the world along with his and offer peace to both. That was beautiful.
Yes. Sentence number 1, paragraph 7. What worry can beset the one who gives his future to the loving hands of God? So anytime you're worried or anxious or fearful, just know you're not giving the moment to God. That's the only thing that's separating you from peace, is your decision not to give the moment to God. That's the only thing that separates you from peace. And that means that you have the power. I should say you. I was like, you. You have the power to find peace by offering it to God, your worries to God. So, and that's a beautiful thing, because the world out there does not control your peace of mind. It's you. You control your peace of mind by saying to yourself, you know what? This worry that I'm feeling right now, I'm just going to put it in God's hands. And by doing so, I release myself from that worry and anxiousness, and I have peace. And that's all it takes. It takes one instant. No matter how challenging the eagle's story is, no matter how long or dramatic it is, peace is always just one choice away. One moment. You're always one moment away from peace. And the only person who's separating you from peace is yourself. Because through free will, you're choosing not to trust God. And so when that happens, remember, I'm responsible for my peace. Nobody else out there. I am. And because of that, I'm going to choose now peace by offering all my worries and anxiousness and fear over to Source, to perfect love, who always has my back. Any comments or questions?
There is degrees of peace.
I'm sorry?
Is there degrees of peace? Is there degrees of forgiveness? Is there a degree, like you say, okay, I forgive a little bit, or forgiving all, or forgiving half, or I'm forgiving, this is the first step. It needs to go back and forgive it again. Because I I did a mistake, and I go and say, I'm sorry. And they say, no, you are not sorry. You don't feel it. I go like, well, I'm saying, I recognize my part, I'm saying, I'm sorry, I apologize. So no, that's not true. What can I say? It's a mistake. So that's one of my questions. The next one is, what about the degree of peace? Is there a certain levels? I imagine, because we are energy, like peace and joy, or peace and quiet, calm. peace and blissful, like nice, like, you feel like flowing.
Well, the Course in Miracles always says that your responsibility is the miracle. The miracle extensions, that's God's responsibility. And so that's this thing about levels.
Mhm.
Course says there's no levels of difficulties in miracles.
Yeah.
And so if you choose peace, you will have peace. Now, how that peace manifests itself, whichever way it is, it is. But there's no levels per se.
Okay. Or level of difficulty that I
Yeah,
understand.
there's no one of the principles of A Course in Miracles is there's no levels of difficulties and miracles. And
Mhm.
that's one of the lessons. I remember that's one of the lessons because that's one of my favorite lessons.
Mhm.
Because it shows you that you can do anything. No matter what the ego story is, you can always choose peace. And this level of high of drama is I can equally choose peace in that moment and let it go. At this level of drama, I can choose peace and let it go. They're both equal. I can choose truth instead of the story, and then I have peace. And so, yes, don't allow the ego to tell you there's a level of difficulties in you obtaining peace. That's not true. In any moment, you can choose peace instead of the delusion, and you can place your lack of peace in God's hands. And when your lack of peace is in God's hands, you will have peace.
Mhm.
And Mary was putting in the chat, good on your practice, Isabel, for not reacting to provocations.
Oh my God. That was like, it's a conscious decision.
Yeah,
It is a conscious decision, and every step of the way being present and saying, okay, I'm feeling being attacked. Or, she's saying that. Oh, I see she's upset. Okay, she's venting. Okay, well, probably so good for her to go like boom, 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 boom. I was like, it's fine. Okay, I see it. All right, I guess, yes, we should go different directions. It's fine, And she kept on blaming me. I said, do you understand that blaming is not that healthy for you? I know, I know, I know. Then I will release it. I will forgive myself. I will find my peace. She was saying that because and I was, yeah, that's right. She chose to blame now. She knows that she will forgive herself later, and then she will find peace. But right now, she felt like, I feel like blaming you. I'm good with that. I was like, okay, that's her choice. Which is a good thing, because she's aware that after that, that's what she needs to do. Forgive her. Then I receive a call later, 2 hours later, saying, I'm sorry. I don't want to treat you like that. I don't like to send people to hell, and I did send you to hell. I say, it's fine. You were upset. You were, feeling this way. I know now. I'm getting stronger to like, I don't want to let this on and on situation continue because it's not that healthy. I'm human. I receive and I perceive and I'm shaken and then I go back to breathing.
Yeah.
But I guess the more we practice these lessons, the more stable. We become emotionally stable, incredible. If we're good students, it can be a good thing. It's because we train the muscle, we nurture our body, but we need to nurture our soul, our spirit. And this is the best way. Best way.
Yeah, and you nurture yourself by supporting thoughts that support your peace, and supporting people who come into your life that support your peace, and to remember that you're worthy of peace. Always remind yourself, I'm worthy of peace, and so I'm worthy to bring people into my life that will bring me peace, that will bring me joy. I don't have to keep accepting people who keep on bringing drama. I'm worthy of peace. And so just keep on reminding yourself that you are worthy of peace. And you're worthy of bringing people into your life that bring you and support you with peace and joy.
Now, how we've been attracting people that comes to our lives and, make us feel victims or victimizers.
Yeah, you brought her into your life. I mean, that's the bottom line. We bring people into our lives for lessons that we ourselves have to learn. Maybe the lesson for you is forgiveness, or maybe the lesson for you is those self-loving boundaries. Whatever the lesson is, she came into your life to teach you something. It's like you came into her life to teach her something.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, we brought them into our lives so we can learn our whatever lesson it is that we need to learn. Maybe you need to learn some self-love and boundaries. Maybe you
Mhm.
need to learn that you are worthy of peace. Maybe you need to learn that you are worthy of people who bring you peace into your life. Maybe those are things that you need to learn.
You have to choose again. Choose better.
Choose once again.
So Samir, we're in the same boat.
Have you tried to invite her to the course?
Yeah, yeah. She listens.
She doesn't want to come.
No, she doesn't. One day she was drunk and was on and off and on and off. So she's like, no, I feel shame. Okay. I gave her the book. She loves the book. She loves the Course in Miracles. Participates on Sundays. Just no camera, nothing. But yeah.
It's nice. That's a good step. Also a good step.
Yeah. Yes. That's something.
All right. Any
There
other
is a book
go ahead.
by Journey to Love by Marianne Williamson. I gave it to my ex, and I got very intrigued with the Course in Miracles. And
Yeah,
it's a great
it's a return to love.
return to love.
Yeah. It's a beautiful book by Marianne Williamson.
Hmm.
Yeah. Maybe
Very
maybe
interesting.
get into that book. And that book is in Spanish too. If you need Spanish, I don't know.
Mhm.
So it's in English and Spanish. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a very famous book from a long time ago, from the 80s actually.
Mhm.
Any other comments or questions, Pat, Luna, Mary?
No questions.
Yes. No questions? Okay.
Nope.
Okay. I'll read number 9 to finish this lesson. Now are we saved indeed, for in God's hands we rest untroubled, sure that only good can come to us. Amen. That's what we said before. If we forget, we will gently reassured. We will be gently reassured, pardon me. If we accept an unforgiving thought, it will soon replace by love's reflection. It will soon, I don't know why I'm skipping B. It will soon be replaced by love's reflection. And if we are tempted to attack, we will appeal to him who guards our rest to make the choice for us that leaves temptation far behind. No longer is the world our enemy, for we have chosen that we be its friend. Amen. In God's hands we rest untroubled, sure that only good can come to us. So remember, only good can come to us because God is in control. It's only when we view our situation through the ego's lens that we don't see that. But just if you're not seeing that only good can come from this, just viewing through the ego's lens, take it off, take the ego's lens off, bring in God's lens, love's lens, and be appreciative of the moment because this is happening for your good. And if we are tempted to attack, or if we're tempted to judge, we will appeal to him, or we will appeal to love, who guards our rest to make the choice for us that leaves temptation, the ego's mindset and tools, far behind. So whenever you're tempted by the ego to judge, to attack, invite God in. And so, okay, I'm feeling like I want to judge and attack my brother or sister or myself. Stop, take a breath, breathe, invite God in. God, can you please think the situation through for me and let me respond with love? And then when you do that, sentence number 6, no longer is the world your enemy, for we have chosen that we be its friend. Beautiful. Yeah. Any final comments or questions? Thank you guys from Isabella. Thank you, Isabella.
Mm. Yeah, I think the people that have experienced trauma since little and they haven't processed, like in this case, so it's, you said it's like complicated trauma, something, a name like that. So it's strong, and it's hard for them to trust. People that have gone through different type of negligence or abuse and stuff, it's hard for them to trust. So a little sign of something is triggering and they think maliciously, quickly. I feel really compassion about it because I don't think it's my fault or somebody else's fault. It's something that needs to be, I don't know, for somehow make room to enter the light because that and
Yes,
they do a lot of work sometimes come to therapy. Like I have a client that comes to sessions, like he doesn't show emotions at all. I said, what is the joy? What is your best day of your life? Write to me at the best moment, the best experience of your life. Well, I go like, wow, it's so hard, It's so hard not to show emotions, but also it's the other side when they show too much of their emotions, it can be also uh, a situation that's dramatic.
So, Isabel, why do you choose to be with this person?
Well, there's a lot of love, a lot of learning. It's a lot of beauty as well. When it's good, it's good. But the thing is, goes from 100% good to sometimes zero. And I found a lot of things also me that I need to do some healing. And I own my part. I own my part, and I'm grateful that because of that encounter of that teaching, I guess, each other to see, what's healthy, what's unhealthy. We are in this path of healthcare, of therapy and stuff. So there's areas where we see improvement. I see that I do a lot of good on her, a lot of good in her career and profession, and she's done a lot of good on me, on pushing buttons that I didn't know existed as well. So it's for a reason that we are in this path, for a reason, for a season, or for a lifetime. I don't know, but yeah, I share what I really feel. I don't
How,
hide.
how long have you been together?
It's been 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's moments, when someone triggers you like that, sometimes you may decide to take an action or a decision that later on is like, okay, let me take all my things, I go home. This is mine, this is mine, this is mine, and this is yours. It's like, parting ways. And then later you are like, oh, what happened? It shouldn't be that way. You need to talk, but you don't feel like talking because sometimes it's the arguments go back and forth so much, so strong, that the best thing to do is take space to find your peace. And yeah, there's people that live like that only a week or years or a lifetime. So what I find myself lately is that at least I'm owning it and I see my part. I see, my contribution in the good side of the journey and also in the ugly. I see my part as well. And but when there is addiction right there, the addiction, it's something that I don't trust. I trust my partner, I don't trust the addiction because that comes and goes, and when comes, it's bad. So what can I say? I didn't put in my book, hey, I would like a beautiful relationship with has also addiction. I learned about it, yeah, when I was already involved emotionally. Yeah, I say have compassion about it and trust that the journey that she's in now at this moment is hopefully helping and find healing. And it's an ongoing, I'm on a steady basis. And only God, when we feel powerless and we trust in a higher power, I think is AA, for example, 12, any 12 step, Coda or Al-Anon, I've been an Al-Anon as well, that has helped me see that many times we put judgment, fear, because we're thinking in the past is going to repeat here in the present, and that's already damaging the present moment, which could be beautiful sometimes, So it's our part as well that needs a lot of healing. So I'm working on myself now.
Any final comments or questions before we close? Well, thank you, Isabel. Thank you, Samir. Thank you, Pat. Thank you, Luna. And thank you, Mary.
Luna, Pat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, beautiful lesson. Great lesson. So let's practice this lesson, implementing this lesson, placing the future in God's hands and being only in the now and trusting God with the now. All right, folks. It was a pleasure, and God willing, we'll see each other next Wednesday. And some of you will see Sunday, and some of you Monday or Tuesday.
Thank you.
See you
Thank you.
Sunday.
Thank
Night-night.
you.
Thank you.
Hopefully I'll be there. See you Sunday too. Bye-bye.
Bye.